Hi guys, so I'm back after a little bit of a delay with another training summary from the past couple weeks. So here I'm showing you my bench set. This was 140 pounds for, I believe it was 3 sets of 7 here. Since the Arnold, I have been staying pretty steady with my lifts, not doing anything too crazy. I backed squats down to 3 times a week, bench down to 3 times a week, and deadlifts twice a week. Here I'm just showing some accessory work. I've also been having more fun in the gym, so I've just been kind of playing around and doing some random accessory movements. And then you can see my headphones falling off. So here are some seal rows. So this day I was training with some friends. So since the Arnold that I competed in early March, where I placed second in my weight class with a total of 953 pounds, which I was super excited about, and I still left a lot of weight on the platform. I have been having one fun day per week in the gym where I've been able to do whatever I want. So I typically train with friends and just kind of like play around or do whatever. This here was 315 for sets of 5. Super fast, felt really good. And so I've been adding in some more accessory work on those days, and my lifts have been staying pretty steady in terms of intensity. I haven't been doing anything too crazy. The heaviest I've gone on squats is 320 pounds. I hit a 397-pound squat at the Arnold. I actually got 1 white light and 2 red lights, so they called me for depth. So technically I didn't get it, but I'm still saying that's I guess you could say, theoretical max is about 400 pounds. So working up to 320 pounds for sets of 5, I believe, is the heaviest that I've gone so far. So nothing too crazy. So these were deadlifts, 350 pounds for sets of 5. My deadlifts have actually been feeling a little bit funky recently. I transitioned to a wider stance. If you've been following me, maybe on Instagram or I don't know, just me posting random deadlift videos on there for the majority of what I'm talking about, I did widen my stance and I ended up straining something in my adductor. So it's been a little bit rocky trying to recover from that. So it does hurt a little bit in the bottom of my squat and with sumo deadlifts. So I've narrowed my stance again on deadlifts and actually added in some conventional because it does not bother me at all. At first I thought it was an injury or kind of a tweak in my glute, but it actually does seem to be my adductor. You can see on that side I was not very happy. So I'm thankful that it's not my glute because it's nothing major. It's just a slight tweak, so I just have to make sure I'm recovering and getting it healed. So these are BFR hip thrusts. So I have talked about these before, BFR, blood flow restriction. These are actually one of my favorites to add in. Really good glute pump. So I don't add in a ton of leg accessory work just because I do squat and deadlift so often. And this was 150 pounds, 4 sets of 5 on the bench. And yes, so let's see what's next. Me dying after bench, that's pretty typical. Oh, and there's my dad. My dad actually came from work, so he works close to me on Limits, which is downtown Columbus. So sometimes if he's on his way home, he'll stop in, and so he stopped in and just spotted me on bench, which was super awesome. We haven't been able to train together very often recently, but so that was great to have him there. So this was 280 pounds, 4 sets of 9, I believe. Cardio. So coming off of the Arnold, it hasn't been quite as intense as I mentioned, so my reps have been up. So I've been doing some sets of 9, some sets of 7, some sets of 5. Nothing below 5 on squat, bench, or deadlift. So really focusing on volume, just getting a good base of volume established. Of course, a little bump in the road with my adductor, trouble with deadlifts, but overall feeling good with my lifts, feeling strong. These felt amazing. So this was 330 pounds. So this is kind of right before I tweaked my adductors. You can see I have a much wider stance as I had before. So the reason I was trying this out is because it shortens my range of motion. So it makes me a bit more efficient. I don't know why I narrowed my stance. Since Nationals last year, I kind of crept my stance in, and so I was having more of like a modified sumo stance, I guess you could call it. So this was 330 pounds, 4 sets of 7. These actually felt really amazing. As you can see, my back neutrality is actually very good. My back is not rounding a ton, and these felt amazing. But then shortly here after this, I believe it was this week that I'm filming. So this was actually like 2 weeks ago, this film here. I just strained my adductor slightly, so I've been adding in conventional and just really trying to be cautious. It's not something major and it doesn't hurt terribly, but I'm just making sure that I'm taking all the precautions and, you know, I'm getting massage therapy and icing, heating, etc. So overall feeling pretty good. You know, I deal with tweaks all the time, so it's nothing out of the ordinary for me. So this was 300 pounds on squats, 4 sets of 7, which felt really good. So as you can see, before each squat, I do take a big breath, squeeze my glutes, which aligns my hips over my, it really just aligns my whole body. So it aligns my hips. A lot of people think I'm like shoving my hips forward. No, I am just squeezing my glutes. So, and that's what I return to at the top of the squat. So these felt good, 300 pounds. I can't recall a time when 300 pounds was doable pretty easily for sets of 7 for me, so that felt great. I also have been adding quite a bit of bodybuilding accessory work. So here's just a film of me doing some curls just with 20 pounds. I add in bicep work a couple times per week, tricep work a couple times per week, and back a couple times per week as well. Shoulders, since I bench 3 or 4 times a week, now I'm benching 4 times a week. I get a lot of shoulder volume in, so I typically only have 1 extra day of shoulders that I add in addition to my accessory work. So, in addition to my main lifts. So this was 150 pounds for sets of 5, crop top bench. It's becoming a thing. So I seem to always bench really well when I'm wearing a crop top, which is really strange. So that felt good. So my bench has been staying pretty steady. I've been having like 9s with 130 pounds, 7s with 140 pounds, and 5s with 150 pounds just the past couple weeks, and just increasing sets each week to continue adding volume. So this was 285 pounds for sets of 9, I believe. And these felt really good, as you can see my dad in the background watching. So pretty fast, just that slight adductor issue that I'm having, but other than that, I've been feeling really good. Just especially when you're a high performance athlete and you're training a lot, it's good to be in tune with your body and just listening to it and making sure you're not overdoing things too much. It can be easy to do that. So I've decided just not to push this, and just make sure I'm recovering. So I'm actually going to be heading out here to California tomorrow. I'm recording this on Sunday, April 3rd. So I'm going to be heading out to California tomorrow to to do a de novo tour with my de novo fam. So I'm super excited. We're having a bunch of stops out west. So this is some accessory work, just some reverse grip pull downs. And you see my shirt, it says Brownie Gains on the back. It says Lift Like Katie on the front, and those are actually for sale now. So I'll put the link in the description. Pretty awesome. Alpha Iron Press. They made me a special shirt for the Arnold that said Lift Like Katie on it, and a couple people expressed interest, so they decided to make them available. So this was 300 pounds for, I believe, 4 sets of 7. This was this past week. And shout out to LS. This is his Blame Ben shirt. So Ben Escrow, he is LS's coach, and he is with De Novo and the founder of De Novo Nutrition. So he's on this shirt, and LS is just funny. He makes a joke about blame Ben, because Ben, basically his programming is like death. So, but he has amazing results. So we have one of the best teams around. So Genova Nutrition, shout out to them. So that's the Lift Like Katie shirt. So if you guys want to check that out, then I will put the link down below. It's pretty exciting to have my own shirt. So this is conventional. So I'm looking over, so my friend was there, Tyree, and he pulls conventional, and I was like, hey, Tyree, look at this, I'm pulling conventional. I was like, he's going to be so shocked, because I literally haven't pulled conventional in probably 2.5 years, so this was fun. So I just added this in, I think I did 5 sets of 3 with 315 just to get some volume in. And a little dance, because I was pretty pumped about that, about how easy they felt. Just 5 sets of 3 in order to get some volume in, just to take that strain off my adductor. So these are some row variations that I was doing just with 95 pounds. I believe I did 4 sets of 8. I add in quite a bit of back work in addition to my main lift work, because that's a huge area for figure. So then here's some pull-ups, and as you can see, I'm wearing my Lift Like Katie shirt, so brownie gains, hashtag brownie gains on the back. So if anyone has not made my brownies, that's Katie and Brownie, so that's where that stems from. So just 4 sets of 5 there on me doing a little twist, 4 sets of 5 for me there on pull-ups. And then this was my most recent squat day, which was 320 pounds for 4 sets of 5, and these felt really good. So encouraged. Been playing around with some squat shoe variations. As you can see here, I'm wearing my Nikes, which have a little bit higher heel, but super excited to be going out to California. I wanted to put together this little bit of training footage for you guys so you can kind of see what I've been up to recently. Overall, training's been good, and I'm looking forward to being out in California and hopefully meeting some of you guys. So hope to see y'all some of y'all soon, and I will talk to you later. Bye.